Hi, everyone. Welcome to another one-off for Rem Alternis. This one is a little special for us because usually we do our one-offs and record them for our Patreon backers, but we're actually just playing a brand new game and wanted to work out all the kinks, and then we'll be releasing it to stream later, and hopefully all of us can hang out and chat and talk with our audience. So we're going to be playing a new little party game RPG called Funny Freakout that was produced by, I have to wave this way, Clifton Write. Um, and we backed his Kickstarter. We got the little printed copy of the game. So I'm really excited to run this and play with Cliff again. Cliff, you want to do a little intro of yourself?
Yes. Hello. My name is Cliff, also known as Mr. Johnson of the Arcology Podcast. I'm one of the founding members of the Shadowcasters Network. I guess I get to write for Shadowrun. I do music for Chicago Shadows. A bunch of fun stuff. And yeah, I did this game as part of Zine Quest 2, which was I guess the second annual a zine focused thing on Kickstarter for tabletop games. And I just sort of jumped on the idea and people funded it. I put a pretty small goal, but it was just funded almost instantly, which was really fun to see. And I had the idea for this game initially just with the thought that there are so few role playing games that don't depend on violence in combat as the primary way of resolving situations. So I wanted to make a game that had absolutely no role for combat to solve the situations, and this is what I came up with.
Awesome. I'm real excited about this. We're gonna get into the whole premise soon. Um, but let's meet the rest of our cast here. So Carlton, how about you? You're new to our recordings or streams.
Hi, yeah. My name is Carlton. I play Hayes on the Arcology podcast. And if you play Shadowrun or Earth Dawn online on Discord, you probably are familiar with my bot, Exploding Dice.
That's really cool that we have the creator of Exploding Dice here on stream. Carlton, thanks for everything you do. It's good to hang out with you again.
It's great being here.
Danny,
Yeah, that guy. Danny Oliver, Rem Alternis layabout and Shadowrun writer, player, and gamer and things and stuff. And I'm here. Yay.
awesome. Aaron, how about you?
Howdy, I'm Aaron. I also help Danny with some of the Shadowrun writing, at least for the missions. I've been pretty darn busy of recent, wrapping some stuff up. And otherwise, I just help out with Rem wherever I can.
Yeah, really grateful for that. Aaron's great to work with. Shay, how about you?
Hi, I'm Shay, and I do music, and I'm sometimes awkward when I do intros. But yes, I do the music and DM.
Heck yeah, episodicals all the way.
Whoop whoop.
And we're gonna be starting campaign 3 soon, which is pretty exciting.
Yes, it's
Shay,
gonna be amazing.
Shay is also brand new to the Rem Alternis core team, so he's learning some editing. He's gonna be actually taking all of our streams into a new direction, podcasting. So really excited to have Shay on the team. And last but certainly not least, Alex.
Hey guys, I'm a nerd, just a data scientist in real life, and I just am lucky enough to have some really cool friends like Sarah that invite me to play games, so I'm just lucky to be here.
Invite you 30 minutes before we're gonna be recording.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, hell, I'm down.
I was like, I have one more spot, and I really wanted to fill out all of the different archetypes so we could see them all here for our little play test here. And we're gonna talk a little bit about Funny Freakout here. So, what this is when I read the instructions, Cliff, I immediately thought of an episode of Punk'd. But you had a different inspiration. Are you allowed to talk about that at all?
I mean, sure, close enough. It's imagine those TV shows where you pull a prank on somebody and you're supposed to get a good freak out experience from them. One of my favorite shows in that genre is Scare Tactics, and so that was certainly part of my inspiration for this RPG.
Awesome. So I like what you said about having like a no combat, lots of RPG, lots of seeing how this is going to go down, and I think it's going to be really great. So I'm gonna walk you guys through my understanding of how to play. Cliff, feel free to chime in at any point. I tried to kind of make this like a cheat sheet, easy thing to do. And then we're going to choose our characters. We're going to go over all the actions so we know how to play and our audience can learn along with us. Cliff, is there a way for our audience to get a copy of Funny Freakout?
I haven't put it up for sale anywhere. The Kickstarter backers all got a copy. Some of you got a physical copy. But no, I haven't really put it out there. At this point, I'm kind of letting it sit and maybe doing some gameplay with it and trying it out. But I will say, if anyone is a patron of the Arcology podcast, I am definitely sharing the PDF with all of my patrons.
Awesome.
So at any tier, if you want to become a patron, even if it's just a dip in there and to grab that and the many, many hours of additional actual play content that is there for my patrons, that's one way you could grab it. At this point, it's really the only way other than to maybe talk to me about doing a stream or a set of videos about it. I think I would be down for that too.
Fair enough. Awesome. Cool. So let's kind of walk into our play sheet here. So we are actors on a play show or on a prank show, except for me. So I'm going to be GMing for you guys today. Cliff gets to actually play in his game. And so I am your mark. I am the target that you are pranking. You'll get to learn a little bit about the Mark, which I named Mark. So we're just going to call him Mark. I tried to make it as easy as possible so I wouldn't confuse that and screw it up.
It's because we're real dumb, right, Sarah? That's why you did it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Low-key.
It's like as close as I get to punning, which is just sad. So
So close.
I know. So here we have at the top, there's going to be Funny Freakout. There's different piles that you're going to be adding tokens to. And by the way, I added our coins that my fiance Thomas designed for our Patreon levels and for Twitch. But I figure it'd be a good token for us to use. So we have a couple of bad piles and we've got a couple of good piles here. So suspicion and bad feelings. So these are the two big bad piles. So these you can do actions that we'll talk about, and certain actions will, depending on your roles, will add tokens to these piles. As soon as one of these piles hits 6, the prank ends. So the prank is revealed to Mark, and to Mark squared, and we go into the epilogue. So, which we'll talk about as well. So don't hit 6, or if you do, make sure that you've got the other piles high as well, so that we can hopefully pull a successful prank and not a failed prank. So suspicion is how anytime the mark is like, is this really happening? I'm not sure this is real. This is like a legit thing. Bad feelings is like getting scared, maybe to the point of, like totally freaking out. You want this really, the mark should be having a fun experience when the show is over. Something memorable, something positive, even if they're a little embarrassed about it. But you want those bad feelings. You don't want that to be an overwhelming part of this. Risk. So risk is not an action you can take that affects that. However, when you make your rolls, if you have a roll that is not a good roll, you can add a token to the risk pile in order to re-roll and get an opportunity for that. However, once the risk pile gets up to 6 as well, that ends the game too. Am I remembering that correctly? So so you might not have a successful prank there.
In a bad way.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
That means you cut too many corners and one of your people got hurt.
Well, we don't want any. Mm. So this is where the violence and the comes into play. Sometimes self-inflicted. So then we've got the good piles. We've got weird and we've got fun. So we want this to be a strange experience, right? Like, that's unusual. Like, but I am buying it, but weird. So that's going to be a good pile. And fun is like, are they all overall like having a good time? Or maybe there's going to be times that they're scared, but also like, is there moments of laughter? Is there really cool effects? That's like, oh man, that's awesome. That kind of stuff can increase fun as well, and we'll talk about all that. When any of these piles get to 6, the game ends, but the bad piles could make it an unsuccessful prank. The good piles make it a successful prank. So you kind of want to watch your flow there. Some of your actions, you'll be able to reduce what's in a pile as well. You'll have opportunities to do that. Any questions about our scoring piles right here? Okay. So next, we're going to talk about gold a little bit as well. We have 6 different actor archetypes. Only 5 of them qualify for getting gold, which we'll talk about. But these are the other 5, and they get gold pieces. So how you get gold is if you go to your character tab and click on actions. I put a little cheat sheet in here, and if you scroll on down to number 8, you can spend your gold on your special ability that is on your character sheet. So that's what you use gold for. In order to get gold, you can use your worst action. So each actor is like really good at something, but kind of bad at something too. So if you're kind of bad at something and but you're gonna try to do it anyway because you really want to sell it and you want to make this fun and successful, you get a piece of gold. They're called gold stars in the book, but I wanted to use a gold coin because marketing. And then the other way you can get gold, you can only do this, I believe, Cliff, I was a little unclear on this, if it was once per actor or once per game.
Once per game.
Once per game. If you guys find out what Mark's secret love is, and refer to it in either one of the actions you do or in your dialogue, that player gets a gold as well. Make sense? All right. So let's take a look at our, before we get into actions and stuff like that, let's take a look at the character sheets and start divvying up our characters here. So our first one on here is the accomplice. So this is the person who knows the mark, who set them up for this prank. They're the ones that call Jerry Springer and were like, hey, let's I want to get my friend on here and tell them. So this is their friend that might not be friends with them after this. And you're getting directly involved to pull off the prank. You know the mark well and what makes them tick, but you aren't as good of an actor as you think you are. So your best action is to reduce suspicion, right? Because I trust you. So, like, you can do things. I'm going to be like, oh, I guess that makes sense, and believe it. But your worst action is increasing weird. Like, everything about you in my life is normal, right? So, like, I may not buy it as much if you are pulling off some of that weird stuff. So how that's going to work is whenever you're using your best action, you're going to roll 2d6. Normal actions are just 1d6. And you're going to use the highest result of that 2d6 for your best action. And for your worst action, you're going to use the lowest result. So that might be an opportunity that you want to use risk if you got a real low result. Every character archetype also has a special ability. So something that only they can do. So, and this is what you spend the gold on. So the accomplice can reveal secrets. So the accomplice doesn't actually have to have gold, which is why they aren't on our main map. You can just do this at the beginning of the game. You can reveal the mark's secret love and secret fear for free. So we do this before the prank starts as we're doing setup. And it doesn't cost anything like an increase in suspicion or bad feelings. And it does not require an action or require gold. Every character also has a post-prank action. So after one of these piles, or several of these piles, hits 6, and we go into the reveal and the epilogue of our prank episode here, you can do a post-prank action. So the accomplice can take the blame and be the focus of all the bad feelings. So the mark will forgive you more easily than they would a stranger, theoretically. Might be mad at you. If the prank ended because bad feelings was maxed out, act out how your actor takes credit for getting them into this mess in a hopefully likable kind of way. Reduce bad feelings by 2 and increase weird or fun by 1. So that could theoretically change a failed prank to a successful one if the tokens all work out right. So that's the accomplice. Any questions about the accomplice? All right. How about someone else read for us about the dramatic actor? Aaron, tell me all about this dramatic actor here.
The dramatic actor, you like to dig deep and get into the emotional subtext of every situation. More than likely, you're a method actor or adding. You form an emotional connection with you, your fellow actors, and the mark. And Mark. You're very sensitive to emotional context. This makes you better able to reduce bad feelings and make sure the prank isn't harmful to anyone involved. Your friendly presence makes the strange less troubling. Your best action? Reduce bad feelings. Your worst action? Increase in the weird. Which you've probably seen serious actors try to play weird roles. It doesn't go so well. For special ability, preventing bad feelings. So if you can spend the gold's coin, you can ignore all increases to bad feelings that result from any one action by doing something dramatic. Describe, ideally act out, the dramatic thing that your actor says or does. This does not count as an action. And once everything's all wrapped up, you know how to edit the recordings of the prank to tell the story that you want to tell. The post-prank action must always be done last. Everyone else who is going to use one of their actions must go first. To edit the footage creatively, describe the scene from the prank you are editing out or changing. You may take one token away from any one pile, which you must then add to a different pile of your choice. This can change the ending from a failed prank ending to a successful prank ending if you're able to max out weird or fun. If you do not max out weird or fun, the prank ending remains the same, even if you do reduce the bad pile below its maximum. Someone else is going to have to get weird or fun up to 5 for you to be able to work enough magic on the editing screen to save a prank by fixing it in post.
I love the fix it in post comment. It's in the rule book too, and I'm like, I say it all the time. Thanks, Aaron.
We're in
Uh,
professional outfit here.
I want to hear about the scary actor next, and Shay, scary's your thing.
All right. Like to play the role of the villain. You're a skilled actor, well versed in improvisation techniques. Your features and dispositions make you a natural at portraying spooky, creepy, and villainous characters. You are very good at making them seem believable, and it's easy for you to accidentally freak someone out a bit too much. Your best action, increase the weird. Your your works action, reduce bad feelings. Its special ability is a bonus weird. Uh, at any time during the prank, say or do something weird and intimidating to automatically increase the weird pile by 1, and this does not count as action. Post prank action. If neither weird or bad have been maxed out, act out how your actor reminds the mark about how they totally had them freaked out at one point. Increase weird by 2 at the cost of also increasing bad feelings by 1. This action may not be used if it would also increase bad feelings to max. A note, increasing weird to maximize changes a failed prank to a successful one. Successful one.
Awesome. So be the creep-tastic person. I had a lot of fun when I was reading this about like increase the weird, but like the worst action is reduce bad feelings. I'm like, yeah, because like if you're afraid of clowns and the clown is trying to comfort you, like yeah, that's gonna make it worse. Like
No,
It's
I don't
okay.
want your balloon. Go away.
I can make a dog though. It's great.
all right, let's do the silly actor next. So who's Danny? Be silly for me.
No, I don't want to. Okay, fine. You enjoy playing out the most wild scenarios. You're an expert at heightening the natural drama, tension, and hilarity of any situation. Um, you know just what to say to make or turn a strange encounter into an outrageous one. Can be a bit over the top, though. Best action. Increase fun. Roll 2d6 and use the highest result. Blah, blah, blah. This is, the worst action is reduce suspicion because it's just too outrageous, I guess. I suppose. I'm told that I have a hard time reducing suspicion once it's thrown on me
Among Us.
by Sarah, usually.
Louis Sus.
It's always purple.
Special ability bonus fun. Spend a gold, and at any time during the prank, I can say or do something dramatic, funny, or outrageous to automatically increase the fun pile by 1. Not an action. Post-prank action. If neither fun nor suspicion have been maxed out, I can act out how my character recounts the funniest or coolest, most exciting part of the prank, which increases fun by 2 at the cost of also increasing suspicion by 1. This action may not be used if it would also increase suspicion to max. If I increase the fun to max, though, the failed prank becomes a successful prank.
Awesome. Could be the lifesaver. By the way, guys,
Good
like I'm just having you read. You guys can choose the characters after this. So just because you're reading doesn't mean you have to play it. I didn't clarify that, so that's my bad. But I can take that part out in post. Um. All right, let's have Alex. Can you read the tech guy?
Okay. Of course, I pulled up the other one. All right. The makeup artist, costume designer, lighting, pyrotechnics, and audio wizard. You love making all of the tech work for a prank, but you're not the most believable actor. Best action, increase weird. Worst action, reduce suspicion. A little sus. All right. Special ability, special teamwork. Ignore the additional increase to suspicion or bad feelings from teamwork. Describe how you make up costume design, special effects, gadget, pyrotechnics, or sound effects distract from the mistakes. Does not count as an action. And then for post prank action, once per prank, when another actor uses their post prank action, describe how your experience helped them accomplish whatever they're spinning, whether it happened that way or not. Prevent any increases to suspicion or bad feelings from their post prank action. This counts as your post prank action. Therefore, you can only do it once. So somebody can save somebody else's ass, is what I just heard.
Uh-huh.
They make other people look good.
Like all tech guys.
We need them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And finally, Carlton, would you read me the stunt actor?
Sure, the stunt actor makes the weird situation come to life by pulling off unbelievable stunts, often using gadgets, makeup, or a costume. Your parkour skills may portraying a werewolf or alien mutant much more realistic, but sometimes your performances are too shocking or unsettling. The best action is reducing suspicion. The worst is reducing bad feelings. Spending a gold for the special ability gets you bonus risk. You can use risk to reroll an action without increasing the risk pile. You can describe how you'd avoid danger seemingly without effort or concern. It also doesn't count as an action. The post prank action, well, if risk was maxed out, you can act out how your actor explains how the crew took every possible precaution while also taking the opportunity to reveal some cool behind the scenes information. Reduce the risk by 2 and increase either weird or fun by 1. It can only be used if the prank ended because risk was maxed out.
Awesome.
And there is a chance of turning it into a successful prank if you pull that off.
Cool beans. Thank you. All right. So, does anyone have any strong feelings on a character? Who wants it, like who's like, I want that one?
I wouldn't mind being Mark Squared's best friend, the accomplice.
Ooh, cool.
Your Marky Mark's Funky Bunch.
All right, so that one's going to go to Carlton, the accomplice.
I'm happy to fill.
Okay.
PHIL or FILL?
Wow, that's two. Mark and
That's
Phil. Look at you go.
Look at
yes,
me
you're
go,
going.
guys.
Keep going. I believe in you.
Soon you'll
I
hate yourself.
I know.
I could be silly.
Silly? Oh,
Yeah, I'll be silly.
all right. Shay is our silly actor.
I think I'll take scary because I don't know, making people feel weird is kind of my thing.
Boom. Play to strengths. Go.
Awesome.
I will go with dramatic.
Ooh. I can't wait to see Erin, the most level person I know, be the drama queen.
And so that leaves us with the tech expert and the stunt actor for the Danny and me. So, well, Danny, you go ahead and I'll take whichever one's left.
Oh, no. I insist. I will fill. And you, writer who gets a chance to play your game, choose what you choose. Choose.
All right, I'll be the stunt actor then.
All right. Love it.
Awesome. Which leaves,
I'm gonna be
Da-
the tech.
yeah, Danny as the tech expert. Love it. Oh, guys, I am so excited. So,
I'm excited to see the game played out with like all of the roles present. So that's not happened yet in my play tests. So
I'm so ready. I'm so ready. All right, so let's talk about the actions handout that I added. So this is your guys' little cheat sheet here. So actions are attempts to affect the scoring piles. So you've got to tell me what scoring pile you want to affect and how. So you're going to say like, I want to reduce bad feelings, and here's how. So you're going to roll 1d6 for each of these actions unless it's otherwise specified. So there's 4 basic actions. There's reduce suspicion. So the actor tries to convince Mark this is a real situation, not a prank, by putting on a convincing performance, drawing attention away from something suspicious, or introducing a realistic special effect, costume, or stunt. So a good result is going to be if you get a 6, it decreases suspicion by 2. 2 to 5 is a good and bad result, which decreases suspicion by 2 and reduces weird or fun by 1. The actor can choose, but that's your happy piles. So bad result is a roll of 1, and that's going to increase suspicion or bad feelings by 1. So then you can also reduce bad feelings or make an attempt to reduce bad feelings. The actor does something to put the mark at ease or relieve their discomfort by checking in with the mark about their feelings, saying or doing something to comfort the mark, or demonstrating courage in the face of scary weirdness. So, good result, decrease bad feelings by 1. Good and bad result, decrease bad feelings by 1 and increase suspicion by 2. Or a bad result, increase bad feelings by 1 and increase suspicion by 1. Scary stuff. Cliff, would you mind reading about increase weird and increase fun?
sure. Sure. If well, besides reducing the bad piles, there's also actions to make the fun happen or the weird. So if you want to increase the weird, the actor does something to make the prank more weird and interesting by doing something unexpected, pointing out something weird or unsettling about the current situation, acting out part of the prank story to boost tension, acting creepy, introducing a weird costume, makeup, or special effect, or pull off a stunt that establishes or supports the weird situation. A good result increases weird and suspicion by 1. A good and bad result increases weird by 1 and suspicion by 2. And a bad result increases suspicion by 1 and bad feelings by 1. If you're going to increase the fun, the actor does something to make the prank more dramatic, fun, or exciting by making an emotional performance, excitement, curiosity, worry, anger, fear, or sadness, pulling off an exciting stunt or outrageous special effect, or doing something doing some comedy or pointing out something about the situation that's funny, or just acting like you're having a great time. A good result increases fun by 1. Optionally, you can also increase weird, suspicion, and bad feelings all by 1 each. A good and bad result increases fun by 1 and increases suspicion by 1. And a bad result increases suspicion by 2.
All right, so those are our 4 basic actions. And then we have our best and worst actions, which, like we said, you're going to get to roll 2d6 and keep the highest or lowest, respectively. You can also choose to do teamwork, so you can help each other if you think like, oop, well, the accomplice is about to try to increase the weird, and they're not very great at that, so I'm going to help them. So you can roll 2d6 then and keep the highest, but it will also increase either suspicion or bad feelings by 1, the actor's choice.
Unless you get the good result.
Then you can also spend gold for your special ability. You can do that, from my understanding, at any time. It is not an action, so you can just be like, that didn't go great. I'm going to spend. Gotcha. And finally, your post prank action, which won't come into play until we reach the epilogue of the episode. But you can only use your post action prank once, and if the circumstances allow. So your roll results, as we talked about, 6 is a good result, 2 to 5 is a good and bad result, 1 is a bad result. Once again, risk, you may re-roll your dice at the cost of increasing risk by 1. You'll roll 2d6 and take the highest. You can only do that once per action, so you can't be like, I roll, I'm going to do risk. I still don't like that roll. I'm going to do risk again. Only once, and then you're stuck with that. How to get gold. Use your worst action and roll anything other than a 1. And then your secret love, Mark's secret love, is involved in the action or dialogue once per game. And that's really it. That's the rules.
Hey, Sarah, do we start with a gold, or is this the only way to get gold?
It's the only way to get gold.
Okay.
So, where we go from here, now that we have all of our stuffs together here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mark. And then we're going to choose a scenario for Mark as the actors are putting this show together. So Mark, here's what I'm going to tell you. Mark, his full name is Mark Unruffled. Gender is male. See, I did it again, guys. Aren't you so proud of me?
You need a third pun.
I
am. I'm gonna expect this later.
He's 19 years old. And his occupation, he's a sales clerk at a DVD CD store, and he's home from break from college where he's undecided in his major. His looks, he's got the black emo hair and a wispy goatee. He's tall and lanky and always wears that black hoodie. Always wears that black hoodie.
Hey, Mark, your pirate name. Your first name is your secret love, and your last name is your secret fear. What's your pirate name? I'm filling this thing out on your spot.
My pirate name?
Yes,
Fabio Nightflyer.
Fabio Nightflyer. All right,
Yes.
that's a great pirate name. I'm
Yes.
totally gonna put this up here. We're gonna get so many likes.
Oh, okay, dude. Whatever. Um, so just for clarity as well, and I may or may not keep this for the recording, but for you, Carlton, the secret love is romance novels, and the secret fear is bats.
The last time I played this, I was the mark and picked romance novels myself.
Really? That's so funny. I was like, that's my lanky Mark friend that's the sales clerk and with the black hoodie wants to be the star of a romance novel in real life. Cool. Okay, so that's what we've learned about the Mark. So now we need and Carlton will reveal that to you in game. So now we're going to choose a prank to set on Mark. Cliff, do I tell them everything about the prank?
Sure. I mean, typically the players who are the people who are not the GM would look at the section of the book with a prank, and they pick it out without really the Mark's player being terribly involved.
Okay. Well, then
So
I'm just going to tell you what they are, and then you guys can have a discussion about them. So you can do an alien abduction. You can do a werewolf attack. You can do a vampire gathering. Or you can do a government black op.
Somebody doesn't like bats, though.
We probably shouldn't do the vampires then.
well, you just don't involve the bat theme. Quick, take that one down. What? Oh crap! I didn't even notice.
I mean, I have a thing for vampires right now, so I would love to do it, but I'm open to everything else.
I'm like thinking about the Captain Marvel movie where they like, land right by the blockbuster and like I don't know why I'm getting those scenes and like so I'm leaning towards either government black op because they were in the the black suits and they were like, making phone calls or alien abduction, but I'm just getting vibes.
I love the vibe of the government black ops. We bust out and oh, we can make that work too. Okay,
Black
that's my
Ops.
vote. I can vote for that one.
The accomplice has been up to something and is now a person of suspicion, traveling with our Mark, and so they both get there we go, right?
Shall we do the government black op then?
It sounds like
I
they've
think
landed.
so, yeah.
Sounds great.
I've been trying not to
Yes.
influence this because I wrote them.
Have you gotten to play all of them?
No, we've done the alien abduction before and the government black ops one before, but they're all going to be super different, so
Yeah,
it doesn't
totally.
really matter.
All right. Well, I'm going to read you some information here.
Yes.
So, the starting scene: urban environment. One or more abandoned buildings, an old warehouse, factory, apartment structure, office building. Have convinced the Mark that they have been hired to help clean up the space in preparation for renovation. One or more of the actors will be there to do the job with them and will suggest they spread out. A short time after the work starts, introduce the hunted escapee. All right, so who is being hunted by the evil government operatives? One of the actors will play the part of a civilian who has spent weeks abducted by a shadowy government agency. They just escaped and are looking for a safe place to hide. They will claim to fear any authorities and be terrified of electronic devices, especially cell phones. They will approach the Mark and try to convince them to help. What is the reason that the victim will reveal about why they are being hunted by evil agents? Make something up and make it brief. Who will portray the evil government operatives? One or more actors will play evil agents seeking to recapture the escapee and either capture or kill any witnesses. How are they dressed? Black suits, body armor, guns with silencers loaded with blanks. They will enter, corner the escapee, who will be utterly useless, collapsing with fright, and confront the Mark. No witnesses. The ideal climax is to have a confrontational conversation with the Mark. The actors playing other workers can be apparently detained, stunned, or even killed using squibs and fake blood. What special effects, pyrotechnics, or other impressive display will you use to make the threat of the evil agents seem real? Drones, small explosive charges, bright spotlights, whatever you want. How will you prepare for the possibility that the Mark could become violent? If the Mark is brave and quick, this might get dangerous very quickly. Think of how the actors will plan for something going wrong. That is that. So,
Okay.
let's say that for this next little phase here, we are in pre-production. So I'm gonna shut up and let you guys do some planning. Lay out your scene. I'd like to hear from everyone in terms of like something that you want to add to this warehouse or isolated location scene.
think I'd like to
Hmm.
start the concept of, do we want multiple government agents going after the escapee?
I mean, I think in the most realistic scenario that you'd have two. I don't know. That makes sense.
Well,
Yes.
let's figure out what roles we need, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
first thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the mark and we have the accomplice, and they're going to clean something up at a place. They're going to join the accomplice's friend who's also there to help clean up. So that's two of us out of how many of us there are. And then there's the escapee. So that's three of us. So who's left? How many of us are left?
I guess I'm evil
Three.
agent as the scary actor.
1, 2, 3. So there's three of us left. So three of us can be agents. As a tech guy, I'll probably be the agent that's in the car that we park, like wherever they're gonna escape from, so that it's already kind of there to, be scary. And then the other two can go inside to apprehend our victim. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
we want a dark, menacing car.
Oh yeah, I got that.
And tons of
I got that
gadgets,
covered.
like tons.
Yeah,
So let
I
me
got
get the
spotlights up on it and everything.
so let me get this straight. Okay, that we are going to go. So we're going to wash stuff, right? And then we are going to. Is there's going to be like somebody who escaped their clutches, right?
Hmm.
I could be like one of those people who have all those government theories and conspiracy theories, and I could be like, oh my god, see, I told you and I can just do stuff like that.
Oh my
Hey,
god! So
look,
you could be one of the other
Dark.
cleaners then, like being the side person. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes,
the person that the accomplice knows. So the accomplice
Okay,
knows
yeah.
you, and that's why. And then, so while you're there, you could talk about all the conspiracy theories. Then our
yes.
escapee, who
You
is,
should really try to bring up Fabio as part of the conspiracies, because seriously, Mark loves
Oh,
Fabio. I mean, if
I
we could
yes,
get him to put in a cameo, that would be perfect. But I know he's busy with all those butter commercials.
I could be like, oh my god, Fabio's real. Fabio's real. I knew it. I can do something like that. I got you.
We got
our
hey,
dramatic.
if we're using an empty warehouse here, we've got to clean the place out first, though, because I mean, if we get any bats swooping around, it is going to scare the crap out of him. Also,
Okay.
if you're going for a scary car, make sure it does not look like a Batmobile. I mean, the guy's
Uh,
weird about this stuff.
The other thing, Carlton, that I forgot to say about the mark is the last thing. His likely the bad feelings response is anger.
Oh yeah, yeah. He gets so pissed off about bats. I think he had a traumatic experience watching that Batman and Robin movie, but ever since then, he
mm-hmm,
anytime
mm-hmm,
bats come up, he gets
mm-hmm,
so pissed off.
mm-hmm.
I don't. It's not even a pretty pissed off. I don't think it
You
would
don't
belong.
even. I mean, like, why would you have nipples? Like,
Don't act like the Riddler. Got it. Okay. Okay.
So for the escapee, then are we gonna go with dramatic or somebody can pull off weird stunts? I'm thinking dramatic might work the best.
I think
Well,
dramatic for the escapee.
because one of the
Um,
options I
Yeah.
was thinking about was good cop, bad cop. So you could have the dramatic. So I could take on a good cop role and try to calm him down while somebody amps him up.
um,
But yeah,
I
I could
think
play the
so.
escapee as well.
I think either the scary or the dramatic actor should be the escapee, because either you're dramatic, you're like, oh my god, they're coming after me, or you're scary, like, and there's a reason they had you
I don't
under
think we're
wraps,
talking
right?
Alex out of being the bad guy agent leader.
I
So
mean,
So,
so I think it's got to be
um,
Aaron.
and then and then the stuntman we need to be on the cop side, because at the end, right, we say think of how the actors will plan for something going wrong. Well, if our mark decides to play the hero or something, it needs to be our stunt person who's ready to like take the brunt of that and get shot with the blanks and fall down or what have you. That's just
Sure. Okay.
kind of how I
That's
assess.
I yeah, don't remember that being in my contract, but fine. I guess somebody has to do that in case. Sure.
You'll be so perfect. I believe in you.
So does that make him one of the cleaning crew that I'm accidentally shooting?
No. The stunt person and the scary person are the two people coming in. So you have one person to
Got
be
it.
scary and one person to do the action, the actual
I'm
action when that comes up.
This might be an old person reference, but I'm the wharf on this security team.
Got it.
Right there, you go.
I'm
And
thinking
then
so.
yes,
So I think it sounds like we have a couple different scenes to set up. So one is arriving at this warehouse to clean up and splitting up from the person that brought us here. Two is meeting the escapee. Three is the entrance of the the government officials, correct?
agents.
Yes.
Sure, and one of the kind of oddball game design ideas I had with this game is that ultimately the GM is not in control of setting the scene or the pacing for the scenes. The players, because they're the ones who are setting up the stunt, they have the control over when the next scenes occur or when to introduce each element. And I think something I definitely want to add in any future edition of this game is I mentioned that players probably have, or the actors probably have comms between each other, because in our last game that we played, we just sort of worked that in and shrugged and went along with it because it just fit and it made running the game and planning the scene so much fun. And of course, the GM who's playing the Mark knows what's really going on, but their job is to play the Mark who doesn't. I don't know.
So if the set has 3 buildings, because we've got 3 people that are cleaners, like I could be hiding in one of the buildings. It just happens to be the building that the mark goes into.
Okay,
Well,
so
why are we doing 3 buildings?
It
Well,
might be easier to keep us together.
we have to split up, right?
No. I think because you want your like conspiracy theorists to be like conspiracy theorizing to the Mark, at least.
At some point in the premise, it did say that they said they should spread out, but that's not something that has to stick.
And man, I
Well,
want to
I
be in
mean,
the show. You guys aren't cutting me out. I mean, I want to be on
yeah.
TV. So you're not cutting me off
I
to like
mean,
go sweep a warehouse all afternoon.
spread out, and go to completely different buildings are different, right? Like, because it could be it's a big warehouse, so you
I
know,
mean,
like you're not all gonna go sweep like the same corner of the one warehouse. You're
I
gonna.
mean, riffing off the sort of the DVD store idea. What if this is supposedly being cleared out like an old strip mall or retail space that's being cleared out in preparation for a Best Buy liquidation store, not a Best Buy, oh, no, Blockbuster Video liquidation center, where all the DVDs and video games from around the area are being sold off for super cheap.
Like it.
I like it.
Hey, do you guys have the budget for any kind of like cool special effects?
I mean, they don't let me talk about the money because we could do something amazing. So
I've got
Mara,
a lot of practical effects that we can use. We have access to the vehicle. We've got the spots, and
We've got the blanks, we've got the guns, we've
mhm.
got the spurt stuff.
I can tell you we don't have anything in the budget for crappy special effects.
hey, I like how you think.
So who's got to die?
Me.
So look, if he starts getting really suspicious or anything, I can shove myself ahead of him and like try to charge instead of him, and then you can gun me down. I can totally die realistically.
I
I
can
Yeah,
took
see
we've got
it.
I mean,
we've got scripts for that.
yes, I mean, I feel like if he sees his best friend die in front of him, that might bring up some negative feelings. I don't know.
But
I
I
mean,
could be
maybe.
like, but he died as a hero.
Or maybe a taser. Could you fake a taser?
Taser's funnier.
Taser, or it would
I
be
mean,
fun if we did like a fake trank dart, or even better, laughing gas, because then you have to sit there and be laughing constantly, which
I
I
mean,
find hilarious.
all of those are non-lethal situations. Do we really have to fake them?
We don't.
You can do them real
I don't know
laughing
that we
gas.
can
I'm
gas
fine
the
with
Mark
that.
without their permission.
See,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
a lawyer.
Put that out there.
Okay, listen, I mean, I'm okay with doing that.
I mean, it's for Hollywood.
I mean, if it's gonna get me on TV,
Okay.
I'm okay with being
Actually,
tased.
Okay,
this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it.
Okay.
You
Okay.
need to get the mark to sign the release. But what you do is you make it out to be a release for being in the building. Like if you're in the building cleaning and like something happens in the building that the owners of the building are not liable for it, and that's what you present it as. But really, in the fine print, it says we can gas you
Because nobody reads the terms of service.
because
Yes.
nobody reads.
Okay, so I think laughing gas is a thing. I think we all came to that conclusion.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can just get a canister of that easy.
I'm totally bringing a taser. Stares at the accomplice.
It didn't say I have to be twice, do things. So okay, we got taste. So okay, let's
And since you're not an actor accomplice, you'll have to be a real one.
Okay. So we play out the scene. Me, the Mark, which is kind of weird, but works. But Mark
Sounds like a
and
bad pun.
it's like a really bad pun. It may be
Yeah.
punny for some people, but not for others. So okay, me, accomplice. What's your name, accomplice, by the way?
Oh, my name is Peter.
Peter. Mark and Peter. Okay. So we have Mark, Peter, and I. Just trying to get the details of this whole thing. We go into like this CD, DVD, this old Blockbuster, and we're cleaning up, trying to get all these things in boxes to get sold out. What happens next?
I think first you got to make sure that you really like start to talk about like the government conspiracies before anything else happens. So like the Mark is primed to like believe something like that. So I'd say that, and then it might be cool if like our escapee like runs across, but maybe he doesn't stop and talk to them right away, and then we can get some more conspiracies out. Then I don't know. What do you think, escapee? What do you want to do next? Maybe when you run past, then that's when the government agents like you can start seeing shadowy figures like following. So like just get them like, oh that's weird. Oh that's weird. Like
Oh, you can
first.
creep around and find your moment.
Ooh, maybe the
I
scary
think he's
truck can.
frozen. I haven't seen him move for a while. Aaron, you there?
Nope.
He's staring at us very intently.
This is his dramatic moment right now. He's getting into character.
The longest
Yeah, he's
pause.
Just doing it.
Uh-oh.
No breath. Just
Antissa.
Let's check on it.
Patient.
I think it'd be cool if, like, before they were walking in the building, they could see the tech guy in the car and just be like, "Oh, that's weird." I don't know, and just like
Maybe
like
the
see the black car first.
maybe it can cruise by slowly outside.
Yeah.
Oh, even better because it doesn't give him the chance to investigate.
Right.
Tech cruise. All right.
It'd be cool sometime during the like search thing, like before we're like the secret agents find the escapees, if we could get some searchlights, tech guy, like that you've got from the car somehow, and it's just like, oh, what's that light?
Ooh, can you do drones like fake helicopters or get
Oh
real
my god,
helicopters?
yes!
Drones with spotlights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, in the video?
Yeah, I can
Hey,
get
he's
some
moving
drones with
again.
spotlights.
So
Yeah,
drones,
you-
spotlights.
Yeah, I can make that
Briefly
happen.
and in short spurts.
I may need to go reboot my router. I'll be right back.
Sure. Why don't we
Okay.
why don't we take a brief break too, just so we can have
mean,
Aaron as part of the
Perfect.
planning.
It kind of says to do that in the rule book at this point anyway, right? Like
Yeah.
once you figure out the things, you're about ready to roll, take a break, and then come back and do the things. So this is perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
So, all right, let's
Alright, yeah.
dive in. I think we're ready to start our show. So I guess to start the scene, Pete, it was Peter, right?
Peter.
Yeah, I believe so. I hope so.
Yes.
Peter, you and Mark arrive with Shay, Do you have a special name for your character?
Yes, I am going for somebody who's probably I'm a Chad.
You're
Yeah.
you're Chad.
I'm a Chad.
All
Mhm.
right. So
Mhm.
Peter, Mark, and Chad arrive at
Conspiracy chat.
this dilapidated mall that has a Blockbuster in it that we're gonna be sweeping out. Um, and let's go.
Yeah, Mark, we are going to be able to afford so much chicken wing and beer after this. I mean, I can't believe they're paying us this much just to clean up a stupid
Like,
blockbuster. Isn't that
oh,
great?
I mean, sounds good, bro, for the chicken and beer, but like, I don't care,
bro,
man.
though, we don't get so much money. You don't understand. And if you get that chicken on sale, that's double the money for the chicken money that we're making. It's gonna be great.
And it's just a
Gotta make that.
blockbuster, so it's just like picking things up and sweeping, no bodily waste or anything.
I lean over
See?
to Peter and I go, is he coming for chicken and beer with us?
I mean, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. He seems
Okay,
kind of cool. I don't
whatever.
know. Let's
I
we'll,
look
we'll
at
chat
them, it's
later.
like,
Whatever, man. Let's get this over with. I don't want to sweep all night.
I'm telling you, this is way better than selling plasma.
oh my god, y'all sold plasma? This one time I went to this off look, I can tell you when we get in there. I guess we go into the blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so here we are.
All right, but hold up. We had a plan for when something that was going to happen for when they were going into the blockbuster. So it
I
wasn't my
paused for a
plan.
second and light a
Somebody else
cigarette.
did.
Oh,
I didn't know if
yeah.
you're gonna.
We need our
Somebody's
drive-by with tech guy. That's what we need. Drive-by, go.
Just a quick drive-by. Okay, yeah. So I start
A
and we're just
slow
kind of rolling
drive-by.
by, and as we get near and we see the three of them, we're gonna just and the windows are like heavy tinted, like all around, front, sides, back. There is
Whoa,
no
what the hell?
looking inside, and
You
we're
see
just gonna
that?
kind of
That car's got
slow
tinted
cruise.
driver window, like the front.
So it sounds to me like you might be trying to increase weird.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird big. It's an SUV. It's got spots on top. It's SUV. Like that's weird.
So go ahead
So
and make an increase weird action.
hey, and that is my best action.
Hey.
Nice.
So you're gonna roll 2d6 and keep the highest.
Oh, there's a 6. Boom.
Nice.
Boom.
Yeah.
So so yeah, it goes perfectly well. We're gonna add a token to Beard.
And suspicion, because
And
it is suspicious as well.
go
Oh,
ahead and
you got the good success though. So does it do the suspicion?
Yeah, it just means it
Yes.
doesn't go up by 2, it goes up by 1.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Weird stuff is always suspicious. That's why.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah, that car's kind of shady.
Yeah, it looks pretty suspicious to me.
Is it
It's
like
probably
was it
they're probably
following us?
like, you know what? It's probably okay. You know, cars like that, they're probably smoking like a big blunt and they didn't want to show everybody it. That's probably what happened. And I'm trying to use my fun,
Um okay, make a fun roll.
which is my good skill. So let's do 2D roll layers. Roll two. Boom. Okay.
You keep the best, so that's 5. So that's a mixed success. So what does good and bad result do?
So the crease, the fun by 1 was the suspicion by 1 as well. Ugh. Okay. Okay.
Getting a little sus here.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you make the blunt comment, like that's right up Mark's alley. Mark goes, yeah, weed, man.
See,
Been there, buddy.
you know I try to go for a high five.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll high five
yeah,
weed.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, this guy can come for beer. That's fine.
Sweet.
All right.
So I guess now we open the door and this place is like destroyed and we just need to sweep it up. Probably some. Um, they probably do have the signs on there, and so I'm gonna be like, okay, what do y'all want to go? You want to go to the action section or drama or 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 scary? What y'all feeling?
I don't care, dude.
I'm gonna
Fair.
grab a broom and toss it to Mark, and say, "Well, let's get sweeping. Why don't we do the action first? Uh, you do the action. I'll head over there and get the horror cleaned up."
Fine. Sooner we get this over with, the better. Can
Yeah,
have that chicken and beer, and maybe even smoke a joint on our way over. Right?
Ha!
Right?
That's
that
the
sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
trifecta.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay. Um, I'm actually going to walk into action, like not even action. It's gonna be like the place. There's action, but there's like teen drama. It's like right there, and I'm gonna be sweeping next to him, and I'm gonna say something like, "You know why they really closed down all these like all these blockbusters, right?" To Mark.
No.
Look, I heard that the government like used to put like government secrets in DVDs and VHSs, but now that they went all like Netflix and streaming services, they are trying to wipe all these out and be able to stock up their all their left loose ends. That's what I heard though. But I was also smoking when I heard that, so that could totally. So.
So it sounds like you're trying to increase weird.
Hmm.
Go ahead and make a roll, and we'll see how Mark buys it or doesn't.
Go. Okay.
Is this your
Hmm.
worst skill?
No, no, it's not.
Okay.
Luckily,
Okay. So you're just
but
rolling a 1d6.
okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Not a yeah that. I am going to, for the sake of us, going to use a
Risk.
risk. Yes,
All right.
'cause that's horrid. I'm not. Boom. Two. Yay.
All right. Mixed success. So
Hmm.
what does our mixed success do for a
Weird
weird,
is
increase weird?
what one to weird, but two to success. Success. I mean.
Ooh, to
Mm,
weird. But does risk take away, using risk, does it take away the negatives? I don't remember.
No, using risk just adds one to the risk pile
Gotcha.
every time you use it to get a reroll.
So you realize as you're starting to explain this that like Mark's kind of giving you the side eye. So how are you gonna how do you spin your tail so that it gets weirder?
mm, uh, I say something like, like, for instance, American Pie, right? Code for a takedown in a different state. And whatever flavor the pie was, it was a different state. But hey, again, I just heard this through the grapevine.
You serious?
Yeah, like California is like a good like a blueberry and but again.
Wait, where'd you
Mm,
find this guy? To Peter.
It
Look, man, I,
overcomes.
I didn't hire him. I mean, he just got pulled in with us. But here, why don't we sweep up this stuff over here? There's oh man, it looks like I think somebody took a what they shred all these posters here. It's just like a big pile of just paper scraps. We got to clean this stuff up. I'm gonna try to pull things back a little bit more prosaic and get his mind back on doing the job and see if I can reduce the suspicion a bit by getting him focused more on cleaning up things here.
Okay. So make a reduced suspicion roll.
Oh,
Oof.
snake eyes.
Oof.
Ouch.
Are we sticking with that?
Oh man, that seems like something I should try to do a reroll on. Don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It can't get any worse.
I mean, how short do you want this game to be?
Thank you all for joining us. That's the end of the.
And yeah, I'm gonna just like bump into one of the DVD stands and just knock it over, completely distracting him for whatever he was thinking about. There's no chance it's gonna fall on anybody else in here, right? As I bump the risk up and get a pair of twos. Wow. Okay.
So,
Better than Snake Eyes though.
what's our result for reduced suspicion for a good and bad result?
It's gonna decrease suspicion by 2. And do we have any weird or fun here?
Yes, we
Mhm.
do.
Because it's gonna get rid of one of those.
We have 2 weird, 1 fun.
It looks like you get the
What do you
choice.
guys think? Should we get rid of the fun and just try to
I'd
max
say
out
go
weird?
for let's go get rid of the fun.
Let's get weird. Yeah. Yeah.
Get rid of the fun?
Yep,
Mhm,
yep. This
mhm.
is no fun at all because I've just made a bigger mess. But at least he's not suspicious because he's worried about cleaning it up.
Dude, what's your problem,
Nice.
man? Like, we're supposed to be like, I got burgers to eat and I got weed to smoke, which is gonna make the burger taste better, and I got some like beer to drink, dude. God.
Uh,
Party
come on, this
foul.
place is trashed anyway.
God. Hate this.
Oh, like, if we just stop talking about this, do it. We'll be able to. Quicker we do it, So, gotta start sweeping.
I'm just gonna go sweep up the back room. Okay.
Yeah, you just don't knock anything else over, okay? God.
Seems like a really good time for a drone flyby type deal, maybe with some searchlights. I don't know. Tech guy, what do you think?
Can't hear
Push
you.
to talk.
I feel like everything's calmed down a little bit, so yeah, let's I mean, they're inside though, so we don't want to open up the door just yet. Maybe how are we gonna do that? Do we
Maybe fly
have?
the drone to the windows?
Yeah, we have what, like comms with everybody. So somehow I imagine special earpiece or whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. He's got a view of the front window. If you shine lights on it, he could probably
yeah,
see it.
all right. So yeah, I'm gonna pilot that drone on over and have it like kind of zip past and then zip back into the window and kind of turn so that it's just like rotating slowly, just to you know get that sense of what is that? Gonna ramp everything up. And I think that's weird. I
Yeah,
think
I
we're
think
trying
that's
to
a weird.
increase the weird here. Let me just make sure that we got. That's what we really want to do. So now, how do I get gold again?
By trying to do your worst action, and rolling
uh,
anything other than a 1, or by incorporating my love for Fabio.
I dress up the drone with long golden locks. No, no, okay, no. No, I have a goose ram the drone like just out of nowhere, and the drone breaks.
Birds aren't real, man. Birds aren't real.
Yes. Do it.
So,
Do it now.
so I went and got. We have a special goose. And we just like drop the goose, and it whacks the drone out of the way. All right, so I'm incorporating the secret love, Fabio, into.
I did not expect Fabio to be dropped in this way.
Like.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah.
Make your
I mean, this is just a roller coaster of emotions, just.
Let's make your weird roll.
Okay. So we can increase the weird by 1. Where is it? We're increasing the weird by 1, but I will spend my gold now and use it to not increase the other thing. Right? That's what it says, right? Spend
Ooh.
gold. That's my special ability. My special ability is ignore the additional increase to suspicion from
Ooh,
teamwork. And
that's
this was
very
a
nice.
teamwork because we were working with the guy inside to make sure that you saw. So, zzz.
Okay.
Sweet.
So as it flies by, and it's got the light kind of like searching around, which gets Mark's attention as he's sweeping the front of the store, and he's kind of watching this like drone fly by and like shine lights around, which is weird enough. And then all of a sudden, this goose hits it, and like there's just this like explosion of blood and feathers, and he just jumps and goes, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, did we just what was that?
For Cobbs, that is not what I thought he was going to do with that goose.
What's going on up there?
We I don't know what I just saw. I really
You
It's
saw
the-
that too?
yeah. I
think
lost
it's
my
about
high.
time to send in our guy.
Oh my god, that was like, oh man, that was like some
That was
Fabio
like
shit, right? Like,
right. Was that that was a bird? That was a did
it was a goose. The goose hit the drone
a little
in the face.
in the face. Like what?
Oh
So-
man, I gotta Peter, get
Yeah,
out here.
Peter.
What's going on up there? What are you guys doing?
Goose just ran into like this drone that was doing this weird searchy shit. Like I've never seen any shit like this before.
What? You hit
Goose?
a drone with a goose?
No, I
No.
didn't do it.
It was a goose. It was a drone. Then it was a goose. And then explosion. And now we gotta wipe that off the walls. But still, but you know what? It was probably just nothing. You know what? There's a sweep.
Man,
I'm
like,
done.
oh,
Like, I can't think about that right now.
I'm like-
I just want.
I'm like so done with this, guys. Like let's just finish. Like we can
Mhm.
probably like be done in like an hour. Like let's just do it and go.
Exactly.
All
What
right,
is
man.
up with drones killing geese?
I'm saying. So I'm finna go like to the other side of the building and start sweeping that way.
All right,
like,
yeah,
from where-
yeah.
where
You
Mark
start
is.
at that end, and I'll start
Uh.
over here, and we'll meet in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
and then it'll be done.
If we done, then we can get that chicken and that beer.
Weed.
I don't
Don't
know if
I
forget
want
the
chicken
weed.
now.
Don't forget the weed.
Hey, just making sure.
Yes.
So I run across the parking lot towards the door because I noticed there's movement inside. And I open the door and I burst in. I'm like, they sent me to help.
Cool. I throw you a broom.
I grab it. You'll notice that I'm in a gray jumpsuit. They gave me the greatest cleaning outfit ever.
Let's roll to increase the weird.
Yes.
Random
Alright.
guy comes running from across the parking lot in a jumpsuit, and it's like, I want to help.
Help.
So that's
Ooh.
a 2.
Is this your best action or your worst action? Oh, this is your worst
is-
action.
This is my worst action.
So you get a
Oh.
gold for this.
Mm-hmm.
All
Nice.
right. So my dramatic actor gets a gold, and it's a 2, so that's a good and bad success. So what happens for increased weird?
It increases the weird by 1 and suspicion by 2.
Mm.
All right. Well, you come running in, and Mark immediately like looks at you, sees Peter just toss him a broom like it's all fine. He's like, dude, like, where'd you come from, man? Like this goose just explodes outside, and you come running in here, and like what? Like, no one's
I
that
don't
excited
know.
to sweep up a Best Buy, dude.
Relax. Like the goose. What about a goose exploding? Like, what are you
like
talking
ran
about?
through the blood to get here.
Oh, I didn't even notice it.
You didn't notice
was-
the.
I was trying to get here. I thought I was late. So we'll just clean up. It'll be totally fine. Like,
Whatever,
I'm
man. Just
just here to help.
like,
I'll work in the back.
yeah.
Sure.
work
Yeah.
far away from
I
us,
think
man.
I think toward the back. Then at this point, I'm going to rattle the back door, which is locked. Or if it wasn't locked, I'm going to pretend it's locked and shine a flashlight in, and then before anyone investigates, move away.
Ooh, so that's an increase.
I'm just gonna. I don't think I want to increase the weird right now because if I fail or if I don't really succeed, it'll max out suspicion.
Okay.
I think I actually want to reduce suspicion from this weird situation by kind of drawing it away to something else happening. That doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah, considering it's like someone rattling is kind of scary.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I better not do that because, yeah,
We could assist you as a teamwork thing.
even so, like, unless I max out the roll with a 6, like a fail or a partial success on a weird would
Mm-hmm.
would max out suspicion.
Yeah, I feel like
if you could
if
spin
we
it for
could get
fun.
Mark, if we could get Mark to do something first and then rattle the door, we might be able to do this if Mark's able to reduce suspicion.
Yeah, I wanted to sort of calm down the situation. Like, hey, like they knew it was bigger than a 3-person job, so I don't have a car, so I had to run over here.
And
So
I want to help. I'm saying like, this is a big place. Like this, that could help. I mean, it's weird, but that could help. I think we need. I
I'm
mean, that
glad.
means we can get the chicken and the beer and the weed in like 45 minutes.
And I do like the sound of that. Go ahead and make a reduced suspicion roll.
all right,
Is that your best one?
that is my best one. But it's also a teamwork, right? So
The teamwork aspect of it doesn't matter unless it's not your best one.
that's true.
It's a way to bolster your not best one up to rolling like it's your best one, but with the drawback if you don't get a best possible roll.
So this will decrease the suspicion by 2. However, it also reduces weird or fun by 1. And so we only have weird. So it would reduce weird by 1.
That's okay. We got at least a whole other scene to roll into this.
So
That's true.
So say that again. We've got a reduced suspicion by 1?
2.
By 2.
By 2, because you rolled a 4. Okay. And then reduce weird by 1. Yeah, I guess, man, that makes sense. But like, the goose thing just freaked me out a little bit. Let's get this over with. God.
All right, now I'm going to do the door rattle thing in the back.
All right, make a increase weird roll.
All right.
When it rattles, I'm going to freak out.
So we're doing a teamwork?
Yeah, I
Let's do this. I can use that help.
Oh crap! What's going on? Oh dear!
Oh
right,
dear!
How do I roll dice and roll 20? That's something I would say. Okay, so I rolled 2 2s. I think I'm going to increase it by 1 more.
You rolled 2 4s.
Oh, I need to scroll down. I see. And now I'm zooming in and out. I'm just not used to using roll 20. Give me a sec here.
Sure.
I'm an old man. I think I'm going to use a risk to re-roll the dice because I want to see if I can go for that best possible result. So yeah, I think I'm already being risky by potentially exposing myself, and I'm shining the flashlight and I'm rattling the door. Like, what if the door isn't locked and it just opens? Then I have to act like I'm rattling a door that's not locked. It's a risky move, but I'm going to do it. And I did not get a 6. So same result. I just increased the risk as well. So suspicion up by 2 and weird up by 1. Unfortunately, I just undid the suspicion reduction move.
That's all right. We can fluctuate. So as you you do that and you dive out of the way of the door, Mark looks up, and you did it at the back door, right?
Yeah, toward the back, away from where everyone else was at the moment.
Yeah, man. You said you wanted to sweep back there, man.
That's totally you.
Yep.
That's you, all you.
Yeah. You can
Believe in you.
Like, well, maybe I
Yeah, I got
can
these
just sweep with one of
bloody
you.
fibers.
maybe what?
Hmm?
Just sweep with one of you. Like it'd be, yeah. I'm just maybe teamwork makes the dream work.
I mean, I guess I can sweet with you, or or maybe I don't know. What y'all think?
Man, I'm not letting this guy out of my sight. So like, here, you do the back room, and I'll go like right outside the back room and like
Hmm.
keep my eye on you, buddy.
Fair.
Okay.
I'll go over here. Um, Kids Bop section.
Kids pop section. Because you did something comedic, why don't you do a increase fun?
Sure. I get I can't help but try to be funny when I'm nervous. All right, come on, give it. Yes,
6. Nice.
6.
So that's
Okay,
what does that do?
1 for fun, and
One.
if I wanted to, I can increase the weird suspicion and bad feeling all for 1. But I don't want to do that because I suspicious like at 5 will be at 5 then. So I'll just
The
take the
thing
one.
is,
Mhm.
the thing is, if you get a fun up without increasing something else, that gives us a way to cut down suspicion without cutting into our weird with another action. So I think just upping the fun without upping the other piles is a
Mhm.
good move.
Mhm.
You know, if you
Yes.
can get the weird up by 1, I could use my get rid of suspicion by 2 and spend that 1 point of fun you got, and that leaves us at 5 weird.
Yes, I like that. So
And
let's
that puts us in shooting range for using our end of game actions to max out the weird.
then
Well, the
I
post
am
prank actions are after the pile's already maxed out. So,
Sure,
oh,
but if we can get weird up real close to the top,
yep,
then even if we end up capping out suspicion or risk.
gotcha. Good thinking.
okay. So
Danny should make an increased fun roll because puppy.
all right, if
But
that's
it
what y'all
doesn't
want.
increase any weird or nothing.
Nope.
It's just fun, and suspicion goes down as well.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoa.
So yeah, I mean if that's what we want to do, then yeah, I'll increase everything by 1. Let's
Okay.
do it.
All right.
Go, go, go.
So I
So
think maybe before we move into the last act with these scary actors showing up as the agent, we need to cut down on the suspicion
Mm-hmm.
a
What
little
are
bit.
you what are you watching him so close for, man? He's just here to help. I mean, look at him. He's sweeping. He's
Yep.
wearing a jumpsuit. It's nothing weird about that.
dude, you
I
heard the
mean,
door and like with the drone and the car and like just like I'm kind of on edge, dude.
well, sure, but I mean, dude, there's no reason to be all like creepy watching the guy. I mean, come on.
Are you reducing?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to reduce suspicion here.
Okay.
Is that your best one?
Yes. Oh, pair of 4s.
I mean, since we're not trying to make this fun, that's perfect. You can just take that and then decrease the fun.
Okay.
We're not trying to make this fun.
It's okay,
Uh,
Mark.
Yep. So decrease suspicion by 2 and yank one of those fun points away.
Got it.
Hmm.
Awesome. All right.
Are we ready for end game?
I think we're ready for you to make your entrance.
Okay.
Make it
Um,
weird.
so I'm over comms telling our escapee, like, when you see me, run, and then that will give an opportunity if our mark reacts badly for our stuntman to like jump and grab or if necessary. So we should both come in at the same time, I'm thinking. And then so we can beat this thing, I can use my special ability if we are close. And so I'll have to do something pretty weird or intimidating during it. So don't get surprised if that happens. Are you
Just
ready?
just remember you can't use your special ability without gold.
Right, so I will have to introduce Fabio into my play.
Well, we already did that.
Oh, we
Danny
can
did
only do
that.
it once?
Yep, only once
You
per
can only
game.
do it once? Oh.
Mm.
I thought
And
it was once per person per game.
no, I had typed it in wrong. I clarified it during the rules
Mm.
go over, but we went over a lot. So, but I believe anyone with gold can give it to someone else.
Oh, he used it already though.
Aaron has gold.
Oh, Aaron's got gold. Oh,
Mhm,
nice.
mhm, mhm.
All right, well,
I
let's see.
remember.
will.
Let's see if we can do it. If I ask for it, I'll let you know. All right, are we ready? Okay, so I'm gonna make a really loud commotion outside. So exiting the vehicle, I'm gonna start look like I'm talking on a walkie-talkie, presumably coordinating with my other agent, and then I'm going to burst into the door and scream, "You stop!" and everyone get on the ground.
And I step
gonna-
in right behind and I draw my pistol and I start shooting wildly throughout the room. It's a silenced pistol and it's firing blanks, but we've set up squibs around the place ahead of time so there's appropriate explosions to back her up. I don't know if
Yes.
we needed the teamwork or not, but I'm gonna add
Do
on the
it.
flavor.
So what action are you
So
doing?
many
It is my
Fabio
best-
movies
it
are
is
blowing
my
up.
best action. So I don't think I need the teamwork, but I mean, I think it's awesome. And let's go for it.
What is the action? Increase weird.
I'm going to increase weird
Okay.
with my 2d6. Okay.
Good and bad. So what does that do?
Hold on a second. Let's use the risk since we have it to burn.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
include, hey, the
Do
risky
more.
thing is firing blanks and having little explosions go off. So,
Mhm, mhm.
This is
All
true.
right.
so
I am
another one of the risk pile.
Okay.
re-rolling.
Remember, risk,
Hey!
Yes.
risk
That is
only.
2 to increase weird then.
2 to increase weird. Well, that puts us at 7, which means we.
Actually, what that does is it increases weird by 1 and suspicion by 1 instead of suspicion by 2.
Oh.
Okay.
But that's still 6 though, right?
That's
But
still
yeah,
6.
they don't go any higher than 6. So.
Oh. That makes more sense.
So does that mean we instantly stop and go to the epilogue?
It is the end of the game, and we get to describe as a group how things pan out with our
So-
best possible ending, with the Mark being totally weirded out and completely believing that this whole situation is real and really happening to them.
So right before we go into that, let's play it out then. So so you do that. You come busting in. Shots are firing everywhere. There's little explosions going off, and Mark shrieks and hits the floor and has his hands up and is like, dude, don't shoot, man, don't shoot. Meanwhile, the cast and the accomplice kind of come together, laughing it off. What's going on, man?
So,
You were
yeah.
afraid of getting shot.
Are you
What?
freaking out? Are you freaking out?
I'm kind of freaking out. Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
guess
Oh,
what?
Mark,
You're
I've
on
never-
Funny Freakout.
Boom!
what?
I press the horn on the car outside and it plays La Cucaracha.
Shoot a gun that
That's
glitter
right.
comes
He
out
set
of.
you up.
You wait. What?
The boy
Peter?
set you up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're totally not here getting paid to clean this place up. I totally made you think you were gonna die.
You had a suite for free.
Oh my god, man! What the fuck, man? And he like punches you really hard on the arm.
Oh man, come
So
on.
so
It's just a prank, bro.
Right. It's a good one too.
oh man. All right. So go ahead and start. Anyone who wants to make a post prank action can do so now. Just be mindful of who's doing what.
Not anything I can do.
I'm more of a fun person, so nothing for me.
Let's see. Scary actor, since no, weird was
Yeah.
maxed out, so yours doesn't work.
I can do bad feelings if I want to. But we max weird out, so we probably don't need to.
So
think
the silly actor could increase fun by 2 and suspicion by 1
Mm-hmm.
by recounting the funniest or coolest or most exciting moment of the prank. What is our suspicion up to?
Suspicion is at 4.
4.
So that would improve our score overall by 2 points by a net gain of +1. So that might
Okay.
be useful.
Okay, then I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, but dude, a goose and like a drone combine and hit each other like that. I mean, no goose or animals were harming this production, so that was like a fake one, and you got that.
So that
Come
was
on,
like fake blood and guts and.
yes, yeah,
Oh
red
man,
dye, and like some Jello, like and a little bit of paint just to give it the flavor.
it looks
I
so
lick
real,
some of the
man.
goose blood. That is good.
That still has paint in it.
Did you just eat the goose blood?
It was pretty tasty.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Does your post prank action increase suspicion or bad feelings at all? Or is
Mine?
yeah.
It does. It
No,
increases
it does.
suspicion by 1. So
Yeah,
maybe
Screech
yours
on 1.
yours can kick in for that.
Yeah, so mine kicks in because I've helped with the goose thing, and so I prevent the increase to suspicion.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
So I'll be like at first he's like, yeah, man, that seemed really like I don't know, maybe it seemed kind of like wouldn't really happen, but like those were really cool effects, man. That was like that was real cool. That was real cool.
That's what I do.
Anyone else for a post prank action?
Just the dramatic actor putting the final spin on the editing process for this going to post.
And so when I look at all of the footage together and it tells this really great story of amping things up, the thing that doesn't quite fit is when Pete walked into the DVD rack, spilling it all across the floor. And it just felt out of pace with it. And so I moved that up a little bit earlier to increase the fun. So it seems like it's a much more fun situation.
Aw, neat.
So you take 1
Nice.
away from suspicion and put it into the fun pile.
How cool.
Yay.
And that's the last action, correct?
That is the last action.
Yeah.
So, Cliff, the one part I didn't read very much on was what we do at this point with the scores.
Okay, the final score is such that you add up all of the tokens in all the good piles, so weird plus fun,
10.
and then you subtract all the tokens from the bad piles, which is bad feelings and suspicion.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Now, risk you ignore unless we maxed out risk, which would make it a bad pile for the scoring. So since we didn't max out risk, it goes away. It's no big deal.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So-
Everything worked out. Nobody noticed all the scary, dangerous, or potentially illegal things that we did in order to make this prank work.
Excellent. So no sirens are coming up in the background now.
Right.
Season 2 is still happening.
Yes.
Yes.
Then after that, if it's a successful prank, we add 6 to the score. If it's a failed prank, we subtract 6 from the score. So since it's a successful prank, we add 6 to the total.
So that's 12.
12 out of a maximum possible score of 18, I think, is pretty damn good.
Nice.
Okay.
For our first time, yeah. I'll take
First
it.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Episode
last time-
1.
The last time we played this game in playtesting, I think we barely eked out a positive number.
I think this is the highest score I've gotten.
Yay!
Hey!
Yay!
Go us.
Awesome. Well, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I love the different aspect of it. I really liked it. Almost felt like flipping the
the dynamic of GM and players,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It
Mhm,
felt like you
mhm.
Like
guys
it,
were taking me on an adventure instead, and that was really cool.
yeah, it's like
Nice.
6 GMs and 1 player.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Something I tried last time when I played this is I was the mark, so I stepped out of the room while everybody planned, so I had no idea what was going to happen going into it.
I like
Oh,
that.
nice,
I
nice.
think if we do this again, we should try that.
Mhm,
But I
mhm.
think it was really cool, like for a beginner, like for all of us being, well, 5 of us being brand new to the game, to go through everything together and stuff like that. I felt comfortable with it. It's rules
Mhm.
light, which I love, and allows you to just like I'm gonna try to do this, roll the dice, and then react to it. Cool. Like that's my jam for RPGs.
I mean, I could totally see myself like playing this game with like my brothers and sisters who are like not real heavy games people, like during like just a fun night out or like in and like with rules light, meaning drinking is possible. So I mean, I would totally do this.
Yeah, that's
I think this is definitely a good Skittles and beer game.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
I would probably up the ante and make them act it out.
Oh, it'd be definitely if we ever play this in my house.
Mhm.
This will be a lot of acting. It'll be fake bomb pillows,
Yep.
socks. We will make the blood. We'll make sure it's washable for the carpets, but we'll make it. And I can see it. Like we're gonna have this living room. It's gonna be our stage.
You guys
And
It's
see
my
why I
gonna
family
have
like
him
loves
making the ads
pranks,
for
so
awesome. Yeah, I think it's great. I also, before I asked you, Alex, to join us tonight, I asked Bree, who does our social media, and she's not a gamer, but I felt like she was out, she wasn't able to join us, but I feel like this would have been like a fun introduction to like RPGs, and that party style too, where it's very informal, it's very rules light, anything goes. It teaches you yes um,
hmm
and I like all that. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Cliff, for a fun
Yep.
time. Anyone have anything else to say about the game?
Thank you
It
for
was
letting
great.
us play. That was great.
Yes, it
I
was
was not
good.
Thank you.
expecting that. I'm
It's
still
very
real.
interesting.
I'm still reeling over the goose and
Great.
the blood and the drone like that in my head right
The
now. It's like,
Jello.
oh wow.
So
What does anyone remember about Fabio? Like he's on the cover of romance novels and the goose.
the
Like that's
goose.
it, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
And the butter commercials.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Oh,
I need
I
to
remember
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
can't believe it's not
Yes.
better. Yeah, never mind.
yeah.
Don't play that on a video. That was a horrible attempt at the accent.
That's
I
where we're
remember
gonna get all
though.
our views.
It was yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and
Rude
Well,
boy.
thanks for
thank you
doing
all.
this. I appreciate it.
Oh,
This is
Thanks.
officially the first time I've had anyone host and play one of my games. So as a game designer, it's a cool milestone moment for me. So thank you all for being a
Yay.
part of that. I
Tito.
had a great time
Well,
with you, and all the things you said about the game afterwards were like, it was all like stuff I was going for. So I feel like I feel really good
success.
about that. So
Good.
thank you
Yay.
for that. And I do plan on doing further adaptations or honing this game to some other form down the road. So if you have any other feedback or suggestions on how it could be better or balanced differently or something, let me know.
I think this would actually be great. We've been doing every other Friday night. We're doing a community game night where people can just join in and run the Rem Discord and play something. And we've been doing Among Us. But I wouldn't be opposed to doing this like on a Friday night. It's so rules light and easy. And that way, because like now I want to play the other encounters and see what happened.
I still want to do the vampire one.
Uh,
I'm still yes,
Shay, I
I'm
will
down.
make
I
sure you're
Yeah.
available.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd love to see once a group starts to get kind of comfortable with the rules and doesn't have to read them or it has a better idea for the flow of the game. Not that you didn't do a great job. 'Cause everyone grabbed the rules and did a great job with this one, but yeah, I think I'd like to also see what the experience would be with some people who've played it like one or two times
Mhm.
already and
Mhm.
see how the experience goes and how the replayability is. Because one of the things that I put on the stretch goals for the Kickstarter was a follow up that would give sort of a campaign mode. And we didn't hit that, so I didn't have to think about that. But maybe for next year's Zine Quest, or I don't know, I might look towards other possibilities. But
Awesome.
anyway, I'm rambling at this point.
Well,
but
thank you so
thank
much.
you so
No, my
much.
family would definitely play this over and over again for real.
Cool.
Cool. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Well, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you again for joining.
Groovy.
Awesome.
Good night, folks.
Live. And we're live. Hi,
We
everyone.
live, people.
Turning the music down. Did I do it right? Can everyone hear everything? I think so. It looks like everything's right. Look at me go!
Look at you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us for the recording of our funny Freakout game. We wanted to bring we recorded in December, so we wanted to bring the cast together and talk about how it went, how we feel about it now, and when we're gonna.
Yeah, I want to play it again. I want to play. I still want to play vampires.
I know you do.
It's been my thing. I have this itch of being a vamp, and it. So we're going.
The completionist in me wants to play. It's 4 adventures, right? So or scenarios. So I gotta play
There are
all
4
4.
scenario Cs, but theoretically, it's you could play them all a number of different ways. So you might be able to get more than 4 adventures out of them anyway.
Oh, I'm sure
That's
I could, but the completionist has to play each one.
All of them. I get it. No, I
Yep.
understand completely. Mm-hmm.
Thomas
Every
says
achievement.
in chat he wants to play the vampire one. So,
You know I'm down.
Colin brought up, or I can't remember who it was Kendrick maybe said that we should play it for one of our Friday game nights. That would be.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yes.
I'm on board for that. Good idea. So anyway, we are here and we've got the creator. The creator also Cliff. Creator has a name. Also, created the music that we heard. That will play on our way out. Well. So what questions do you guys have about the game or the inspiration? We want to do kind of an AMA. So chat, get involved. Feel free to ask us questions. Any questions that you guys have to get us started?
Man, oh,
Well, if I
like
could
okay,
just
go.
jump in and say it's really really cool to have a game that I designed be featured on a stream like this. It's the first time I've ever had anything like that ever happen to me, and as a just sort of beginner indie game developer, it's a really cool. So thank you so much to all of you for doing that with me.
Of course. I think we all had a blast. There was a lot of laughter, a lot of memories. We were talking before we went live, and Shay was like, I just will never not think of a drone hitting a goose.
No, yes, it was a magical moment, I want to say. It it was perfect. Oh,
So
sheer randomness.
to kick us off, Carlton, I know you've gotten to play this a couple times. So what are the scenarios you've
Yeah.
played, and tell us a little bit about your experience with multiple sessions.
Let's see. One time we did an alien abduction where we were driving out into the country and bright lights from above and all of that sort of thing. Another time we did the same scenario but did an entirely different take on it. We went to a cabin in the woods. It was a romantic weekend date at a cabin in the woods that went horribly wrong when the government showed up. And tried to
Oh.
kidnap somebody.
Oh,
That one went really weird because it was a romantic thing, and this strange crazy man showed up. So yeah, let's lock the door. What? No, don't let him in. What are you doing?
Bad feelings. Bad feelings.
Bad feeling.
So I think
Wait,
when
now
we
he's
were,
going to the kitchen. We have knives in there. What are you thinking?
I think we were talking about when we were playing how the other sessions you played, you failed the mission, right?
Um, I'm not sure if we failed it. Well, we on at least one of them we came up with the failure, but then I think we pulled it out with all the special abilities at the end. We were able
Cool.
to turn
Mm-hmm.
it from a failure into a success.
Cool.
Um,
Nice.
And this time that we played together, I had the rule where everyone started with the gold, and that was just OP, and they won too easily. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why you don't start with the gold now.
That's fair. That's fair.
Awesome.
I guess that kind of pulls into a question that I've got for you, Cliff, for the mechanics of it. Did you do all kinds of math and calculations for how to make it play through well, or did you just come up with some random ideas and play it a bunch of times? How did that work out for you?
um, I, I guess I'm not like super good at math, other than pretty basic math. So there weren't like highly in-depth calculations, but I came up with some ideas, and I did fiddle with how the actions should affect the different piles in different ways, quite a bit. A lot of times, just sort of trying things out and rolling through sort of some faux actions, and just rolling the dice as if the actions are being taken to see how it plays out with the different piles. So really, I haven't actually played this game with a lot of times. I think this was the third or fourth total times period. So I was really, really pleased to see it play out so well, to go along with how I sort of envisioned it to go. Um, and this time that was recorded here, this was the first time I'd ever played the game where we had all of the roles represented. So yeah, it's still pretty experimental at this point. I still feel like I kind of want to go back in there and maybe tweak one thing here or there, but it seems to work pretty well too.
Well, and I
So
like that it's an RPG, but it's a party game. Like the fact that we could learn the rules in half the time of this stream, and then sit down and play and like hammer it out. So it's not like sitting down and playing an RPG for 4 hours, to really get anywhere. It's this nice little episode of a show. So it's short, it's easy, it's not it's diet rule, which I'm a fan. So I think that's really nice. And it fitted nicely. We do have a question from Kender Mage. What shows were your inspiration for the game and the different pieces that go into it?
I mean, I just hands down like almost 100% scare tactics. I just I have loved watching that show. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's so funny to watch people in those situations and see how they react. And I thought it would be interesting to represent that in a role playing game setting. I guess I was trying to come up with ideas for role playing game concept that in which violence didn't really have a role to play at all. Not that I'm against violence in role playing games, because my next RPG that I'm designing is well, it's incredibly violent. Um, it's just, I feel like there should be some that aren't. And this was one of the ideas that occurred to me. And it was also inspired a bit by the Forged in the Dark RPG system, which I originally sort of declared this as a hack of Forged in the Dark, but I don't really claim it as such anymore because it's deviated or drifted so much from that it's more of a more inspired by than an actual, adaptation of.
So I haven't seen Scare Tactics. So is each of these actor roles transparent in that episode, or like what made you think like, all right, I'm gonna do an accomplice and I'm gonna do a stunt actor and a scary actor?
Well, okay, in scare tactics, there is always an accomplice involved that gets that drags the person involved. They sort of trick them in, and they volunteer them for the show. So that's definitely directly represented in Funny Freakout, right? Sometimes they're actually involved in the prank, and sometimes not. But yeah, there always seems to be like that one actor that always shows up to play the creepy, the creepy big scary dude, right? And then there's the other actor who shows up and is really good at playing these other parts. So it's inspired by that, but it was also, I guess, to give it more of a gameplay mechanic, to give each player a different different role to play. I mean, a big part of this is, with Funny Freakout, the game mechanics are, I mean, they are what they are, but a lot of it's just sort of there to give you these improv prompts to get your creativity rolling as a group of people just making up this crazy zany story together.
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot of yes and in it, where it's I'm gonna do this. Okay. Like, I'm gonna have a drone hit a goose. All right, sure. How would we react to
Yes,
that?
and yes.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
said drone, somebody else brought the goose into it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
absolutely.
was a great collaborative experience, and
Yeah,
I think everyone gets to lead into their roles, but also anybody can attempt any of the actions. It's just you have one that you're better at and one that you're not so good at.
yeah, and I like that. The roles are so we talk about at the end of it that the GM is really not the GM and kind of lets go of the whole thing. And so I'd really like to play a version 2, like you had said, where the the actors do the planning without the GM present, so it's just all a surprise. And
Yes,
and
yes.
it's like there's 5 GMs versus one player that doesn't know where you're going.
Yeah, that was really sort of a surprising game design decision that I don't know quite how I came up with it, but just the idea of swapping the roles, right? Normally the GM introduces the setting and tells the players where they are and what's going on and asks them what did they do. But in Funny Freakout, it's your show, it's your prank. You've set things up, so all the players are the ones who set up the scenario and describe what's going on and are controlling the pacing of events and things. And it's the GM that sort of reacts and keeps score.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's a really nice change of pace from what I'm used to. Okay. We have
Hmm.
another question. Were you trying to get this out in time for the 2020 convention, or were you just working on the game until you felt like it was done?
So I guess every year, well, for 2 years now, and I guess they're doing it a third year. Kickstarter does this thing called Zine Quest, which is basically a little bit of a marketing focus on an idea to encourage some RPG zine projects. And somebody on Twitter, I apologize to whoever it is, I don't remember who they were, said, "Hey, you should do this. It's fun and easy." And I just was like, I've got this idea rolling around in my head for this game. Why not? So I did a Kickstarter, and I put a pretty low goal on it. It was like $200 or something, but it hit the goal really fast, and so I ended up having to make it. um, so yeah, I didn't really have convention season in mind or anything. I just wanted to make up the game because I got paid for an idea that I came up with. Just how cool is that? Um, and and I wanted to make sure I made a game that lived up to the idea really well. And so eventually, I did send out the physical zines. It was late summer by the time I got around to doing that because that was mostly me figuring out how to actually do the paper staples part of making a zine, which was way harder and way easier than I thought it was going to be. um,
Fair.
Hey guys, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm fixing tech
What are we
now.
doing, guys? What's
That's what I'm
happening?
doing.
Carlton just
Are we
changed to Danny.
are we doing funny freakout tonight? Is that what's going on?
Oh
This
my
is a
God,
prank
Danny.
right now.
Ah, yes.
There we
I
go. There we go. I fixed it. I'm going.
Yay!
There we are. Woo!
Ah.
I was kind of
Woo!
ready, but I knew it was going to take me a minute. Shay, you had a question. What was your question?
Oh, yes. So, have you thought of any new scenarios that you might want to add for version 2?
Yes, my oldest son has been getting big into slasher films, like watching the old school ones like Friday the 13th and
Yes.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, things like that. So I think we need a slasher scenario.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have strong bad feelings.
It'll be great, Sarah. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna be part of the play test. It'll be great.
Remember how I said the completionist in me wanted to try every? Yeah, no.
Yes, dude. Yes, feed into it.
You'll just be at that 96% forever.
As long as I can, if I'm not the mark, I could do it. It's just
Exactly.
Um, cool. So Danny, since you're joining us, what are your thoughts of looking back and playing the game and watching it again?
I think that it's so first of all, I was here the whole time. I just had to do it over mobile, so I was not I was in the chat watching the show. Um yeah, I like this as sort of a party game idea, right? Like it you play it in like an hour. I feel like this is one of those things where, I remember when I was a kid, I had sleepovers and we would play Dungeons and Dragons for like hours and hours and hours, right? So you could do something like this and like games like this where you could play 3 or 4 or 5 different games in a night and just kind of work through a bunch of different things. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
I
like
like that aspect of it.
I like that too, because like now that if we had just finished playing this game and I was the mark, now I'd be like, man, I really want to play like scary or something like that. Like to be able to switch that up would be a lot of fun.
And no
Mm-hmm.
prep work required. That's pretty nice too, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, you read
As
the
a
one pager and then you're like, all right, Mark, get out. We're gonna play
That
it.
was that was
yes.
absolutely a key goal of mine with the game design, was to have it be a no prep game, or extremely low prep, I guess, because you still have to look at some things and pick your stuff. But yeah, the GM has the least amount of work to do of anybody.
And as a GM, I appreciate you.
Long time GM here, so
I feel it.
we know how to shirk our
Yep.
work.
See, the
That
next
is real.
Kickstarter, you just need to come out with 20 more scenarios.
Oh,
Indeed.
indeed. I
Oh,
can see a couple of things. Anyway.
yeah. Well, and I think, someone mentioned it too, like the ability to just create your own scenarios. I don't think it'd be that hard because the prompts are helpful, but I think like by the time you've played through 4 or 5 of them, you might be like, all right, what's next?
That would be my hope, but there's one thing I've noticed a lot about narrative RPGs. A lot of them that I've read, some of them are really good at presenting things and helping players know what to do, but a lot of them just sort of seem to assume you know how to play a role playing game and jump into improv stuff right away, and they don't really help you get from wherever you are to your starting point to knowing what to do in the game. And I just really wanted to lay all that out for people to have something to go with, instead of just sort of feeling stumped with, well, this seems cool, but how do I even get started doing it?
yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully the document, the PDF has everything you need to understand that and get it rolling.
Oh,
Now I have to be taken.
Danny,
Sturrier started screaming at me. Why?
yeah, I think that's really cool. Kendermage even it brought up like releasing scenarios through Patreon or something. Scenarios. That would be really fun. You can keep the game going and keep it alive. Neat.
I think it'll be fun to see what goes on with this game going forward. I've got a number of different ideas, and including, I think it would be really neat to ultimately see it packaged almost like a board game with some components to go with it, and cards and tokens and things to hand out. I mean, it would
I was
ultimately
totally
play the
thinking
same
that.
way, but like just
Mhm.
everything sort of laid out and packaged like a party game, so it doesn't feel like you're digging out, a D&D book.
Oh.
Because really what I'm going for is just something you can get a bunch of people in a room together when it's safe to do such a thing, right? And just have this crazy zany time having fun playing improv and role playing together
I like
without
that
having
too.
to have a lot of rules to learn.
Well, and
It's
and
fine.
even so, when I was prepping for the game, I put all the stuff in Roll20 because I wanted something visual that we could do and keep track of the tokens and stuff like that. But when I created the character sheets or the player sheets, actor sheet, I really like there isn't that much to each one where you couldn't put that on a card and be like, here are your actions rather than going through all of them at the time and stuff like that. So I think it's just one more way to streamline it and feel like you have something that's
Well,
that's nice and a well.
when I
Mhm.
designed the PDF document that was also the printed zine, such that you could rip out the pages for the scoring piles and The scoring piles have like a shorthand for what the actions do relating to them, and then you could just rip out little play sheets for the players and pass them out to everyone. Or or in many cases, maybe just have the PDF and print off the sheets you want. Right. So yeah, I think an ultimate idea for this, seeing it in a board game with components, would be a really cool realization. So maybe someday, but yeah, adding more scenarios is definitely a good idea. Having those core 4 that were originally part of it. And when I dropped the first play test doc, it was just one. It was the alien abduction scenario. But yeah, I think it would be fun to have more ways to play it.
Awesome. Well, Kendermage says now I have to buy 2. Awesome.
Well, just
Version
buy
one and version
the
two?
PDF and you're good. And that said, I did just post it on itch.io. It's my first project on there yesterday because I wanted to be ready for the stream. But I do also have community copies up there. So if you can't afford it, but you want it, just claim one of those. If they run out, I'll add some more. I know some creators have like rules, like if a certain amount gets purchased, they add more. I'm just gonna play it, so I'll just add more to it when it runs out. Because, if people want to play the game, I don't want them not being able to spare the $5 being a barrier to that. So
Yeah, definitely. And I know that we've got people, Cliff, I've been spreading the word about this too. Randy, who's in our chat and um, is in Like Clockwork, is on a new stream that's going to be taking place on Wednesdays. Randy, if you're here, you should drop the link for that. But they're focused on GM-less games. And I was like, this might be a really good one to try out. So Randy did pick up a copy, so that on another stream too.
my next game design is GM-less.
Yay! See, there's just more and more. It's act here.
Yes.
Yeah, it is after 8, so I do want to start to wrap up here. But thank you, Cliff, for joining us. Thank you, chat and viewers, for watching us play this brand new game and supporting Cliff and getting your own copy. We'll get this uploaded to YouTube pretty quickly as well. So the editing's done. So really appreciate you guys. I think what we'll do is maybe we can offline or something plan a Friday game night. And I know we have at least 3 players from the chat. So we'll coordinate something and maybe play a few rounds of this.
Ooh.
Check out
That'd
our
be
casting
awesome.
call channel or our game night channel on Discord. And we'll be back. Gosh, what's the next thing we're doing? Today's Thursday. Tomorrow
Is Friday. Yep.
is Friday.
Friday.
I don't think L5R is coming back as we planned for tomorrow. We might be delaying that because we have some schedule conflicts. So we'll probably do another game night tomorrow night. D&D is Saturday morning.
Woo woo.
GM by Shay. And don't forget to join us again for Like Clockwork, episode 2. And the Kickstarter that is coming for it on February 2nd with the graphic series. Thank you,
All the
Carlton.
grooviness.
Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
Shay.
for
Before
having
we
me.
sign off,
Anytime.
can I ask, do you have something going on this channel on Tuesday next week?
Tuesday from 7 to 10 is Shadowrun.
Okay.
Shadowrun.
I
Why?
won't promote my thing that's going on Tuesday then
Well,
at the same time.
please, you might be having it somewhere else, or it might be on YouTube or something after the fact. So
It's
Or whatever. We're not afraid of competition.
all right, fine.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, catch the VOD of it right after or something. But yeah, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Central is the finale episode of our Mech Warrior Destiny actual play on the Shadowcasters Network YouTube channel.
Yay!
And there's a big epic final battle coming up, and we're
That
doing a
sounds cool.
fundraiser
It
for
does.
world builders. So your donations during that time, or your what are they called? Super chats. That's it. Super chats, in which are like donations in YouTube, right? During a stream, all of that is going to be donated to world builders, and they'll also generate plot points to assist the players with battlefield support from the locals during the epic final battle. In which they are incredibly outnumbered and outgunned.
My favorite kind of fight.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, it's like Helm's Deep, but with big stompy robots.
Yay!
Yes.
Awesome. yeah, guys, follow Cliff. Follow Shadowcasters Network. They're the ones that got me started on streaming. So great content there. We love them, and we'll see you later. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's
Bye.
play some music on our way out.
No,
Wait, not. Hey, here.
I had you. I was gonna get some support
Danny,
in there.
I feel it. Thank you, Danny. You're
You know.
there.